You are about to watch one of our videos taking part in our Victor and Valentino's Cinco de Mayo celebration. But stick around at the end of the video and find out where you can get your very own sticker of Valentino. For now, on with the show.
Welcome back to our month-long celebration of the underrated Cartoon Network series Victor and Valentino, everybody.
Yeah, just like how I'm talking about this crazy-looking open-world Donkey Kong banana. Am I talking about the Switch? Oh my gosh! Every time! Oh my guys, I'm so sorry. Like I'm really excited about the Switch too. Okay, and it's just yeah, I can't take the weight for this system anymore. But that actually leads to something that's kind of dated, like sort of like in the date sort of thing. But everybody knows that, like, I still remember the whole story about how he and I discovered this. But it was just like a sunny, like, relaxing August evening in 2022, and then all of a sudden, I check Twitter, and I'm like, wait, what the heck's going on? And I hear the Victor and Valentino and all these other things being removed from HBO Max out of nowhere, and all heck broke loose, and it's just, not only did that happen, but it got abruptly canceled, like, possibly the next day, and then in 2023, it gets removed from digital platforms, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, basically all heck broke loose when the whole Warner Brothers animation purge happened in 2022. But there is something that we think many of you Victor and Valentino fans would like to know. So, shortly after the series got canceled and finished airing on Cartoon Network, series creator Diego Molano, who's also going to do an interview with us on May 31st, shared on the Animation Magazine website some exclusive artwork that was based around the series. And when I skimmed through the interview, I found out that he was developing a Victor and Valentino spin-off series.
What?
Yeah, he was developing a Victor and Valentino spin-off. And since we realized that no one else has talked about this canceled project anywhere on the internet, we decided to do just that and break the silence. As a result, this week's Vic and Val related video will be taking a deep dive into the unproduced spin-off series The Lonely Haunts Club, or its alternate title, Charlene's Lonely Haunts Club.
This actually leads to some things that actually leads into something called The Lonely Haunts Club, because that not only was it the name of a soundtrack for some reason, but
it was also a series of 4 individual episodes that also played like a mini-series that occurred throughout the entire 3-season run of the show. It quickly followed Victor and Valentino hunting for ghosts in the town of Monte Macabre with their closest rivals, a strange and often creepy little girl named Charlene, along with her bulky older brother named Pineapple.
Let's just say that here we're going to have some sort of a similar thing where there was a completely different character focus, and that's what was happening, where Charlene was the main protagonist and Pineapple being the sidekick, mainly because of what Diego said in the interview with Animation Magazine. I want to say a couple of months or so after the show was canceled, because he started to provide information and visual development about this whole thing.
So basically, the Lonely Haunts Club TV series would have followed Charlene and Pineapple and their friends as they go hunting for ghosts in Monte Macabre.
But at the same time, they're trying to give it a welcoming and sort of a sweet atmosphere as they befriend the ghost, and they encounter and they live with her in a somewhat of an abandoned haunted house, which they named the Lonely Haunts Clubhouse.
But, anyways, that actually leads into something that we've discovered, and thankfully it was not going to be more so like scary and ghouly and creepy and all this. It was going to be more so like a wholesome environment. It's like a comforting, welcome place to live, but with ghosts as the residents?
It wasn't just going to feature ghosts. The Lonely Haunts Clubhouse was going to bring together many of these misfits and outcasts into a warm, welcoming place where they can all live together. Because there's nothing Charlene enjoys more than comforting the misunderstood and her new friends as well.
Okay.
Think of the series as like a blend of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and the Addams Family with a hint of Scooby-Doo. Only these ghostly ghouls aren't so imaginary and not some disgruntled employee in a rubber mask.
But along with some other plans that we're not going to reveal right now, we'll talk about those other plans later on. Like, they just canceled it, like, almost immediately for no reason, literally no reason at all, because they think that Victor and Valentino just has no place in the network anymore. And another thing is that, honestly, this is a baloney excuse. This excuse is baloney. Too scary for younger viewers? What do you mean by that?
That was my theory about why they didn't go forward with this project.
Oh, okay. I thought that there was something that you found out. Sorry, but
it was just like my theory about why they didn't go forward with this project, because maybe they thought that the series was going to be too scary for their younger viewers.
Oh yeah, seriously, like canceling it for those two, that's just baloney. But I can't believe that we're actually in a timeline where we get to do this. But we have exclusively never before seen insights and footage of what we could have seen.
Mm-hmm. All provided by Diego Molano himself.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I think we should, of course, say the inspiration, because like we said, kind of like a little Scooby-Doo mixture with Foster's and Addams Family. But according to what Diego wrote to us, the idea came from where he was volunteering in some sort of a halfway house, and many of the people were just struggling, but they were mainly he found that they were just kind of misunderstood and they were never really given a chance. And then they found them to be very interesting and wonderful people, and that's how, bam, this thing got made.
Yep. Not only would Charlene and Pineapple become the stars of their very own show, but would also introduce some brand new characters who would also become members of their Lonely Haunts Club.
We got a little bit of a tech-savvy named Jesus, a psychic named Genzi, and then a third member, Tula. Wait, why does that name sound familiar? But anyway, let's see. We also have another character named El Pintor, which had a prominent role in the first episode of this quote-unquote saga that they had. And then somewhat he would become a recurring character. But we also have some new house ghosts, like Le Leona, who also appeared in the original series, Humberto, and a house pet named Paprecito, and Mark. But here's something that I think would have made this like a full circle. You know how, quote-unquote spoiler alert here, you know how in Jessica's Big Little World, Craig, Kelsey, and JP showed up? What would have been so cool is that if Victor and Valentino showed up in this. That would have been sick, man.
Well, we don't really know if Diego wanted to have Vic and Val appear in this series. Maybe this would have happened in a different timeline, maybe before they came to Monte Macabre for the summer.
Actually,
not really sure.
Okay.
Solely focused on the side characters.
Okay, yeah, probably. Okay, true.
Maybe they wanted to keep it a separate thing.
Probably.
But let's talk about the art style for this show for a bit. Now, the characters did get a bit of a redesign for this particular show. Specifically, El Pintor and Charlene and Pineapple, who are borrowed over from the original series. And the basic look of the show would have looked like a digitally illustrated storybook coming to life. As you can see here in these art pieces that Diego made when he was trying to pitch the series to Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and the thing is, these characters, like, they were supposed to have, like, an organic, hand-painted sort of a feeling. I can't really find a good way to compare it, sort of a say, but that's just something I think is really cool. They're expanding the animation style, which is great for someone like me.
Now, half of these episodes we're going to be spent exploring urban Latin American legends and folklore as the kids encounter the ghosts from these urban legends, just to see if they needed a friend.
But the thing is, that's just one half. Then we have the other half. The other half being that we were going to see inside the main house itself, just like with some other things. Like sort of a sanctuary for the ghosts and something like a fun house for the kids. But seriously, this is potential on the table here, just looking at this and just imagining this. Like just seeing like what fun can occur with all the ghosts and the individuals and the roommates and the individual flavors of trouble that comes. Like, come on, man! Like, this just sounds peak!
Mainly because they would be helping them with their unfinished business so they can move on from our plane. And other types of episodes that would have that would have been explored include a house mystery story arc where Charlene and her friends learn about the house's original owners and discover its otherworldly intentions.
Cartoon Network, you guys are literally insane for canceling this, man.
Well, I hate to say this, but because of Victor and Valentino's lower viewer numbers and small fan base, they just didn't see why they should invest more in the episodes. in the original series.
I'm sorry. I need to pull up a little video showing off my quote-unquote reaction here. That's how I feel about this whole thing. That's how I feel. But another thing is that we actually have something else before we go, and that we have Diorama Drama, which is an episode that was actually being made. Yeah, we actually have a concept here. We actually have a concept here, for crying out loud. And it actually starts out with Charlene running out of stories to watch and becoming starving for drama. You like drama, really, Charlene? Come on. But it actually ends up with her becoming obsessed with the ongoings of a doll family living in, well, a dollhouse, because where else would they be? But here's where things get really bizarre. We end up seeing her very own point of view, and somehow the dolls are alive. And we see that they're full of all this drama and chaos, and it's like a reality show in a way. And when she puts herself in harm's way, in one of the storylines that she's developing, her friends just start becoming crazy and concerned about her own sanity. And I would be too, honestly.
So basically, there would be a lot of interesting things to be explored if we did get a Lonely Haunts Club spin-off series.
Yeah, like, bro. Yeah, long story short, we would have had something great, but we want to know what you guys think of this intriguing concept that we have here. Did you guys think that would be a great potential for spin-off series, or what?
Yeah, let us know what you guys think of the Lonely Haunts Club, or what you think about Charlene having her own show, and let us know in the comments below, and we'll be sure to give them a like, or we'll reply to them. And be sure to tune in for the rest of the month to see more Victor and Valentino videos every week.
Attention all Victor and Valentino fans. Have you ever wanted to own a sticker of one of your favorite characters? Well, now you can. Today, you can order your very own sticker of Valentino himself. He's 3.5 inches tall, has a holographic heart design, is waterproof, and customly designed by a hardcore Victor and Valentino fan. He's only $5, plus $4.25 shipping and handling. For more information, visit the Hoshi no Nico store on the Etsy website. Link in the video description below and over on the community tab on our YouTube channel. Bring home Valentino today.